the new manager told me this could go public with the sub-brand. All right, so we got to talk about the sub-brand name. The CEO said the sub-brand name is not Alps. The Alps is just a code name. The sub-brand name is something else that he said is 接地气, which is a very good name with very deep meaning behind it. And according to leaks, NIO patented the name Envo back in 2021, and also the Chinese counterpart of it is Xiang, and also patented back in 2021 along with the logo. And this could be the sub-brand. All right, this could be the sub-brand. I'm thinking like 70% sure that is the sub-brand. And it's very interesting that we go over what this name means, because this name does sound really good. In Chinese, the first word 想 means think. All right, and then 向, it's towards, so thinking towards. That's what the word directly translates to. And if you think, but the name itself, 想象, sounds like imagination. So thinking towards, and then also imagination. The name itself sounds like imagination. So very good. Just like NIO's name. All right, NIO's name in Chinese, 未来. That 未来 sounds like future. 未来 sounds like future. All right, so that's a very good name. But if you directly translate every single word, 未 is actually blue, 来 coming, blue sky coming. All right, so that's where the blue sky coming came from in NIO's name. So that's a fantastic name. NIO's name is fantastic in Chinese. And then Envo, Envo, 想象. I mean, this is also a very good name in my opinion. And Envo, maybe onwards, sort of sounds like onwards in English. Very nice. I like this name. I don't know what you guys think about this name, but I think they got the name quite well. All right, they got the naming quite well, but I think right now they got to do a lot more brand recognition once they launch the sub-brand, because are people going to be able to know this? And I think in every single advertisement or every single store, because they're going to have individual stores, which I know some of you guys are very concerned about. You got to put more money to open more stores. The CEO said they will not share the same sales infrastructure. They will share some of the after service. So the service infrastructure, they'll share some of those, but the sales stores, they're not going to share that. So you're going to see separate stores with Envo branding, and then their cars inside those stores. So a big investor concern is, of course, that's more money that they got to spend to build out those stores, to, of course, get people to recognize this brand. And that's the big problem, all right? So maybe they can do something like Envo, and on the small print, 未来旗下品牌, or maybe like a sub-brand of NIO, and make that prominent and let people see that, so that people know about that. And I'm sure that in those stores, in those Envo stores, when customers walk in, the first thing that the sales reps will probably tell the customer is that this is a sub-brand of NIO. So I mean, this is actually a good kind of sub-brand relationship, because the main brand is much higher tier than the sub-brand. All right. There's some interesting stories about how some people checked out Zeekr, and then people like this car. The wife likes this car, the husband likes this car, and then they asked the sales rep about what the Zeekr brand is about, and then they said it's a sub-brand of Geely, and then you see their faces turn purple, because Geely is not a big well-known brand. All right, it's not like considered very high up there. So of course, that gives them a negative impression for them. But for NIO, of course, if people are like, oh, what's this Envo brand? Oh, it's a NIO sub-brand. Then you get a positive impression. So that's something that's very nice. One thing that people got to understand is it's not just all about making a cheap car. Making a cheap car doesn't necessarily make you sell better, right? It's very important offering what people want. And we've seen that with the P5 launch of Xpeng, it's a much cheaper car, affordable car that a lot of people can buy, but that sales of those just haven't been doing that well. And it clearly shows that just making a cheaper car doesn't guarantee it to sell well, right? So am I confident with NIO's success with the sub-brand? Well, hearing the name is a very big part of it, because the name just itself can either make people like the brand or not like the brand just based on first impression. So the name itself, I'd say it's a win. The name itself is a win, okay? They're launching 3 new cars under this brand. So that's going to be pretty nice. They probably cover several different price ranges between like 200K and upwards to maybe 270K-ish. And they're not going to enter into NIO's price range. So around that, and maybe even a little bit cheaper, 180K-ish to start off. And their strategy is to offer what everybody likes, what everybody wants, but do it better and cheaper. And I think that's a winning strategy. Okay, it's a winning strategy. So I think that's also, the strategy is also a win. There's also going to be battery swaps, so that's also a win. But the problem is, will people know this brand, and will people be able to communicate? The sales reps, will they be able to communicate? And the marketing team, will they be able to communicate all the features that this car has? And will it be like, will it become self-perpetuating in terms of hotness and trendiness? And people buy it, they like the car, they tell people to buy it, etc., and get the steam ball rolling. That would be very, very nice. You know, on my Discord, I tell people that if NIO launched these cars as NIO's own car, like ET3 or ES3, and NIO will see success 100% with the sub-brand, with those cars. And some of you guys have said that I've never seen a luxury brand also sell cheap brand. Well, BMW. Think about BMW. NIO's whole entire business model, car vehicle lineup is modeled against BMW. Their head engineer used to be the head engineer for BMW i8. So BMW's X3 is NIO's ES6, essentially. BMW's X4 is the EC6 for NIO. BMW's X5 is supposed to be the ES7. The BMW X6 is supposed to be the EC7. And BMW's X7 is supposed to be the ES8 for NIO, right? And then you have the 3 Series sedan, which is supposed to be the ET5, all right? They're the equivalent. And then you got the 5 Series sedan for BMW, which is the ET7, and that's the equivalent. But then BMW also has BMW 2 Series, BMW 1 Series, X1, X2, right? Those super cheap BMWs with just the BMW badge. The interior and everything might not be that good, but that's the price range you wanted to go for, and that's what you're getting. But you're still getting the BMW badge, and that's where I think NIO has detracted from this BMW lineup strategy. I would have loved NIO to just launch whatever those sub-brand cars as ES3 or ET3. You know, that would see tremendous success. Have a NIO badge, but just have a car that is a little bit below the ET5, a little bit below the ES6, but still offer a lot of good stuff, maybe single motor, etc. And they would see tremendous success. There's the argument that you don't see Tesla creating a sub-brand just to launch their cheaper products. You don't see Apple creating a sub-brand just to launch their cheaper products, right? This is very interesting. But here in China, you do see these other companies launching their sub-brands. For example, Xiaomi launching Redmi and these kind of stuff, sub-brands to launch their cheaper products. But what could really be interesting, and this could be possible, and the new manager told me this could be one of the things that they're doing, is one of the ways to get more money for the main brand. All right, they might potentially go public with the sub-brand and raise money and get more funding. or they can straight out sell the sub brand as well. So it's setting up the possibility for that to happen. And that's what the CEO, that's what the NIO manager told me. There's so many ways that NIO can get money. They could also make their swapping network go public, or list that as well, etc. Sell it, or even sell it. There's just so many ways for NIO to get money, and possibly selling the sub brand is also one of those potential routes. We've seen this happen with other big companies. For example, Huawei sells off the Honor brand, Honor sub brand, sell it off, get more money. Could totally happen. All right, you can't rule out the possibility of that not happening. But the sub brand is definitely going to get quite a lot of interest, and we'll just have to see how successful it becomes. But I definitely wish that it was under NIO's main brand, like BMW.